This is the new HiLux, a vehicle Toyota's had 10 years to conceive, develop and produce. And I know what you might be thinking, what were they doing with the other 9.5 years? And yes, look, it is the same platform, the same diesel engine, the same gearbox, the same basic dimensions, and really outside the new look front and rear end and a radically overhauled interior, the same basic vehicle. But I promise there have been lots of small changes made to this iconic workhorse that when you put them together, they really do improve the formula. So let's go and take a closer look. Now, part of this new generation is a rationalised range and engine offering. Now the HiLux steps from Workmate to SR, SR5 to Rogue, and then to Rugged X, and that's it, at least for now, with no GR Sport. Also gone is the entry-level petrol engine, a victim of emissions regulations. Oh, and the 48-volt mild hybrid system now appears on everything from SR and up, provided you opt for the 6-speed automatic gearbox. And yes, of course, the big news is the all-electric HiLux, the BEV, but really that's going to be sold in very limited numbers, mostly to mining companies. Now, chief among the mechanical changes is a new electric power steering system, which is heaps lighter and easier on the arms, and there's new suspension tuning with a light and heavy duty option, and there's new mounts and stiffening to reduce road noise and vibrations. Toyota says the new HiLux was designed in Australia for Australia. In fact, it says it's undeniably the most Australian HiLux ever. This new look, for example, was penned right here in Melbourne. It was tuned and tested here, of course, for our roads and our conditions. And the changes do start up front here. And like all new designs, I'm sure it'll take a little bit of getting used to, but Toyota says the idea is to give the HiLux a little bit of longevity rather than trying to make it look basically the same as it always has, which is why this new honeycomb style grille really sits proud of the lower part of the front end here. It gives it its own identity and really makes it stand proud and true at the front of the vehicle. Now there are changes at the back too, and chief among them is something that I'm sure you'll be very excited about, and that is the addition of new tray steps. I wonder where they got that idea from. They are so handy, so practical. I guarantee you will absolutely love those. Anyway, while the outside of the car is really an evolution, the real revolution takes place inside the cabin. So let's go take a look. So the cabin. Now we drove the old HiLux here this morning, and I got to say it does feel a little bit like you're sitting in a time machine. The tech is old and it feels it. This new one though is far more modern. Not class leading perhaps, but a huge step in the right direction for the HiLux. Now all models get this new and very cool looking 12.3 inch central touchscreen, and there's a 7 inch or a 12.3 inch digital dashboard depending on the trim level. There's also wireless charging, tons of USB-C ports, and of course wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Now, critically, Toyota says people want tech, but they don't want annoying tech, which is why there's still a whole lot of physical buttons in here. Your aircon controls, for example, are still accessed manually, so is your volume, all your drive modes. Everything is pretty easy to reach without having to dig through the new screen. The seats are new and pretty comfy. There's a tyre pressure monitor on SR grades and up. There's a terrain monitor on SR5 and up. And your four-wheel drive controls are still here and still manually operated from 2 high, 4 high, and 4 low. Under the bonnet is the same 2.8 litre diesel, meaning 150 kilowatts and 500 newton meters, and most now arrive with 48 volt assistance. So how does it drive? We put old and new back to back on the same roads, and it's here that the differences are genuinely noticeable. It's less jittery over faster bumps and less jolting over bigger ones. It sits flatter and feels more composed at speed on loose surfaces. It's quieter, but still not all that quiet. And the acceleration, though no faster, does feel more progressive and ironed out. The steering is lighter and easier too. Now, does it feel light years off the current HiLux? Not really. It's still in the same galaxy, but at least it's on a planet now orbiting closer to the most car-like utes in Australia. Now, the typically terrible Melbourne weather also helped promote this vehicle massively because the off-road stuff was really, really impressive. We tackled some really slippery, really steep off-road tracks, muddy and slicked out and rutted and chopped up, and really the HiLux walked up them without any drama at all. This is still a really tough and really capable off-road vehicle. Now, you could argue that in a world of plug-in hybrid utes, launching a brand new ute with the same old engine isn't really shifting the dial, but Toyota clearly thinks it's the little things that count here, and there is no denying that the changes made to this new HiLux make it a far nicer car to drive and to live with.